Jake walked to the railing on the sea pier. He set his fishing rod and tackle box down next to a familiar face. "Hey, Carlos." Carlos felt a nudge on his line. He reeled it in a few turns to see if he had a bite. The line seemed tight. Then he smiled and turned his head. "Oh, hi, Jake. You're late this morning." Jake looked to his left to see the pink sky before dawn. He looked at his watch. 5:45. Then he baited his line and cast it into the rumbling surf below. He looked at his fishing buddy for a moment. "I had words with my son this morning." "Morgan's still staying out to all hours?" Carlos replied. "Yep. With school out, he thinks he's on permanent vacation. He's either out with his friends or he's locked in his room playing on his game console." "We've talked about him before. What are you going to do about the situation?" Jake stared at the waves rolling in. "I don't know." Carlos stood by his friend for a moment in silence. Then his eyes lit up. "Jake, why don't you invite him to go fishing with us?" "I don't know." "Come on, Jake. What do you have to lose? He can only say no." The next morning, Carlos arrived at the pier in the dark. As he walked up to his usual spot, he saw two figures laughing. Then he heard, "Morgan, that's a great story. It reminds me when Carlos and I went for a joyride in high school." "Jake, don't you dare tell him that story." Morgan turned his head. "Why not, Uncle Carlos?" Desperate to change the subject, Carlos asked him, "How did your dad get you to go fishing with him?" Morgan shrugged his shoulders. "He just asked me to come with him.